All right, so we are here backstage at Boston Calling Music Festival. I have the pleasure of being joined by Dallas from City and Color. Dallas, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really well, thanks. I cannot wait to catch your set. Who do you want to see?
I'm excited to see Courtney Barnett.
Oh, she's
in
the
a couple
best.
of minutes, I think she starts. So yeah, I have never seen her play live. Only just like on TV shows and stuff like that. So I'm excited to go see the band play.
Good, good. Well, I'll make sure we both get out in time to do that because I'll be right there with you.
Okay.
And then, so I love City and Color's the name for people who don't know. Dallas Green, City and Color.
Yeah.
I've read somewhere that you chose CNC because you're apprehensive a little bit about releasing under your own name. Would you do it all over again? Would you be City and Color? Or would you release under Dallas Green?
Yeah, no, I would totally remain City and Color. I think, well, for me, two things. I like the idea of having something to kind of hide behind and it not just be about one person.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I wanted it to be able to sort of expand or retract to anything I felt like it should be at that moment. So whether it's playing by myself or having a band, or it's not just like Dallas Green and his Merry Men.
Yeah.
It can be like a band, like it is sort of right now. So yeah, I really, really like it. And it's kind of, I was lucky enough to have sort of like a clever way to do it, where it is still sort of my name.
Yeah, no, exactly. I would definitely run with it again. And then, so how long, for, again, our listeners who don't know, you used to be in a metal band called Alex is on Fire. How long did it take you to get more comfortable in the quieter space back when you kind of...
Well, I sort of had always been doing it, even growing up, even before the Alexis stuff. So it was sort of natural to me, to sing quieter or just be quieter, to be honest. But I've always liked all different styles of music, like heavy and quiet. So for me, it was always simple, because it was I was drawing from both sides of those genres anyway.
Mm-hmm. Now, I read somewhere that when you were recording material on Sometimes, which was released in 2005, some of it was written when you were 16. What was it like to revisit those songs pretty much like 10 years later and take a look at them and record them?
Yeah, it was interesting. I think, it's almost like, you have your whole lifetime to write your first record.
Yeah.
So I had these old bits and pieces of songs and ideas from when I was young that when I approached them to re-record them, I still sort of, maybe it was what I was going through in my life at that time, but they still made sense to me.
Yeah.
Some of them now don't, like the old ones, some of the old ones from the first record, I don't play that much just because they just don't feel right anymore, which is, I think, it's okay you have to allow people to do that, to move on from things,
Exactly. And then I want to point out something that you did really, really awesome. For some of your candidates, or all your candidates, you released $20 tickets to benefit the Red Cross and their efforts to help the wildfires.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's great to see music used in such a positive way. How can people help out with that effort, and why did you decide to do it?
Well, obviously the shows were announced long before these fires started. But I think just because, A, I'm Canadian, and so we try to help each other out, and then B, we were doing this tour right through that area basically coming up, and I just felt like it would be irresponsible to not try to help in some way. So yeah, we released an extra 100 tickets for every show for just $20, and then all the money is going to go to the Red Cross to help.
Well, that's awesome. Speaking of Canada, do you have like a favorite Canadian act? Like if you had to pick one?
A favorite Canadian band?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're called the Constantines.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
The drummer plays in my band now.
Oh, nice. Small world.
But they are, they're my favorite Canadian band.
Great. And then so, sort of speaking of your more recent shows, you just played Dylan Fest, a Bob Dylan birthday tribute show. That was in Nashville, I believe, correct?
Yes.
How did that come about? What was it like for you to sort of play an event like that?
It was cool. I mean, there was like a house band, and there was like 20 or so people that came out and just did one of their favorite Dylan songs, and it was cool. It was an interesting thing to be a part of, and especially just getting to be included in something like that's really awesome.
Was the man himself there?
No.
And then, what is your favorite Bob Dylan song?
Well, the song that I sang is called "The Man in Me," and that's probably, I don't know if I have a specific favorite, but that's one of my favorites.
Cool. And then so, I'm assuming Bob Dylan is a little bit of an influence. Speaking of influences, is there anyone that you are influenced by that people might be surprised to learn that you're influenced by? If that question makes sense, I'm sorry.
No, I think, I really love Sade. Sade is one of my favorite singers and songwriters of all time. And I think some people who would maybe not assume that I would like her so much, but I've said it enough, I think, by this point that people probably know that. But things like that, like, I really like female R&B stuff that I guess you wouldn't necessarily think that I'd be like trying to find inspiration from something like that, because it's the opposite of what I do. But yeah, I take inspiration from all types of music.
Well, I mean, now that you even say that, the vocal on Lover Come Back, that's so soulful. I love that vocal.
Appreciate it.
And then, so if you had to describe your most recent release in one word, how would you describe it?
Friendship.
Friendship.
Yeah, it's all because the songs were all sort of written. I wrote all of the songs with the band in mind, because I had such a good time getting to know them and touring with them for the 2 years before that I just wanted to make a record with my band, and so that's what the songs are all rooted out of friendship.
See, I really like that, because most of the time it's like lost love, future love, anticipation of love. It's nice to hear something about.
I mean, that's what a lot of the songs are about.
Yeah.
But the musically, friendship is what I think what allowed that record to happen.
Cool. And then, so this is going to be my question for everyone at the festival. We're assembling a supergroup. For you, who's playing what? Who's on drums? Who's singing? Who's playing guitar?
Okay. Alive or Dead?
Alive or Dead, yep.
Okay, Levon Helm is on drums. Actually, the band, just the band would be...
The band?
Like the band?
Yeah.
They're the supergroup. They're already the best band of all time, so they're my supergroup. And I'm not in it, I'm watching.
Well, I think if you ask them, you never know. I think they might have you out for a show.
Well, half of them are dead.
Half of them are dead, yes. That will put a damper on things every time.
3 of them are dead. 2 of them, I don't think, talk to each other, so...
Oh, that's depressing.
But that band is my favorite band of all time.
And then, so you do a ton of these interviews, which I, as a journalist, am grateful for. I'm sure that it must get boring at points.
Oh, it's okay.
What question do you wish you would ask more often?
I don't know. I don't know if I have one, to be honest. Yeah, I think you do interviews like this, and you're going to get a lot of the similar questions, because that's what you're doing it for. You're talking about your songs, you're talking about your inspiration, you're talking about things like that. That's what you want to talk about, because that's why you're in the first place. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know if there's many questions that I've never been asked that I wish.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, well, that's good to hear. So this will be my last question for you. Who has your ear right now? Who are you listening to?
I really like. There's this guy named Marlon Williams.
Oh, okay.
From New Zealand. This kind of sounds like Roy Orbison and Elvis Presley a little bit, but he's young and he's really good. I like that record a lot. Courtney Barnett record's amazing.
Oh, yes.
What else? The new Radiohead record's good. Yeah, just stuff like that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Dallas. Have a great one.
Thank you.